Alright, ladies and gents, welcome to the lesson. Today we are going to cover how to play like Eric Johnson. So it's pretty interesting because he loves to do these patterns of 5 notes. So basically I'm going to go over the very vague generalities that a lot of his patterns share, and that is he plays things in a pentatonic kind of box. However, everything he plays, whether it's ascending or descending, is in a pattern of 5. So to give you guys a little bit of an introduction to this, I think the most bang for your buck will be out of this video, simply because I'm going to actually show you the patterns of 5 that he does. So what I just played in the example there, previous to this, is more or less a repeating pattern. I know it sounds like a bunch of random notes and it sounds crazy, but it's really not that bad if you put it into context. It's this repeated over and over again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you can add the E note on the 12th fret. So going into it a little further, it's kind of important to explore the right hand as well. So we'll get that in a minute. So basically going up and down the fretboard in this E minor pentatonic box is pretty good. And it's basically the easiest way you can get into this. So I'm going to start with the first, essentially the first lick that I played there. And then you have the next one after that is, and we'll get to that after. So playing the first lick here, again, let's go through and practice these 1 5-note block at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first one. You're on the high E, you're on the 15th fret. Hammer off to the 12. Same thing on the B string. And then you're gonna hammer out, you're gonna pick the 15th fret with the pinky, hammer off. And then you're gonna slap that index finger on the G string on the 14th fret. So, and then you're gonna repeat that. Right after that, we're going to hit a downstroke on the B string, which is going to be on the 15th fret, hammer off to the 12th. So 15, 12. And then on the G string there you have 14, 12. Slap that finger, ring finger, on the, let's see here, 14th fret. And that's the D string. So now in total you have 2 of these blocks that you just learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the next block is going to be 14, 12, hammer off. And then 14, 12 on the D string. And then you need to really use some legato there and slap that ring finger on the A string on the 14th fret. So you have to finish it off, you have let's see, on the D string, hammer off from 14 to 12, 14 to 12 again on the A string, and then finally on the low E string you have the 15th fret. If you'd like, you can end on the E on the 12th fret. But totally it sounds. And then if you want. So that's the first lick. Now the next one is a little bit tougher. This gets into a lot of stretching. You're down here on the fret. Like basically you're on the fret between the frets between 8 and 12, right? So you really have to pay attention to what you're doing and you're stretching out. So that's this set down here. Also keep in mind with the picking hand, when we're doing this, we need to make sure that we pick on and off, right? Selectively. So lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs that I just showed you. So anytime you're playing these boxes, the first notes are always going to be hammer-on, pull-off. And then you got to make sure when you put that fifth note, this is what it is, that fifth note you end up playing in that box of 5, you have to make sure that's more of a legato. You have to slap that index finger just like that down on. So you need to make sure you have a strong ring finger for that. So the next lick, the same principle applies. Then you can add in the last note if you want, like I do there. So basically, let's go through this very slowly. You got a big stretch here. You're picking the first note, hammering off to the next, 12 to 8. Then you go into the next string and you're doing the same thing on the same exact frets on the B. So you need to take that that ring finger again and slap that right on there, because that's the fifth note, right? So then you go right back to the, let's see, the B string, because that's the first pattern of 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that last note with the ring finger that you need to slap on there is again on the 11th fret on the G string. Then right back to the B string, which is 12 and 8. So that's, again, 12, A. And then the ring finger is going to hit the 11th on the G string. Then we're going to hit the 9. Okay, so that is basically going to, the last note of that set of 5 is going to be on the D string on the 10th fret. So here it is. And then the rest of this, we're going to hammer off on the, let's see, the G string from 12 to 9, right? And same thing on the D. Same picking pattern. This is the next set of 5. Make sure you have that strong ring finger to hit the last note on this cycle of 5, which is the 12th fret on the A. Then again, the new set of 5, which is the very last one, is. Oops, let me try that again. So that's 12, 8 on the D. Then you have the A, which is 12, 10. Then slap that ring finger on the 12th fret in the high E. And if you really want to add some pizzazz to it, you can hit that on the 8th fret. So just again, keep in mind when you're playing these, you need to make sure you have good legato, and you need to make sure that ring finger is strong. And if you can learn these in these 2 areas of the neck and these keys, the first one again was starting essentially at the 12th fret up here. So if you can learn that, that's a pretty simple form of it. And then when you're used to that, you can apply the second one that we went over. And that's a little more complicated, and then you can use that all over the fretboard. And then also, again, that's the gateway to pretty much everything he does. Not everything, but pretty much everything, because even when he does the ones that are ascending, so when he's going up the neck and doing the 5s as opposed to down, it's just the reverse of that. It's the same exact thing, but it's the reverse of that. So if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down in the comment section, and just make sure if you have any real important questions about this, you can also message me. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.